So do you all remember the GoFundMe project to build the wall? Well, we have a pretty hilarious, yet also very sad update for you. A GoFundMe page called We Build the Wall, this is in Splinter News, by the way, has managed to raise well over $22 million from hundreds of thousands of donors over the past 5 months, run by an anti-immigration triple-amputee Iraq War veteran named Brian Kolfage. The GoFundMe page promises to build segments of President Donald Trump's wall on private land along the southern U.S. border for a fraction of what it cost the government. The page received nearly $13 million in just 5 days after it was launched late last year. One snag, though, is that to date, there is no sign of any groundbreaking having occurred on the project, despite promises by Kolfage that it would start in late April. Now, some donors are beginning to grow concerned that perhaps they were duped. The Daily Beast's Will Sommer reported on donor concerns on Friday. So, the campaign morphed from building the wall into a nonprofit called We Build the Wall. And they went from saying, hey, we're going to build a wall on the entire southern border. We're going to build Trump's full wall. They went from that to, okay, we can only build the wall on private land along the border. So we don't have the right to do it on the federal land. It's not legal for us to build it on the federal land, and we acknowledge that. But what we'll do is we're going to build it on the private land on the southern border. Now, did they ever lay out a detailed plan as to how they're actually going to go about doing that? How they're going to... Because you would have to talk to every individual private landowner at the southern border. And you'd have to say, okay, we want to build it there. And you'd probably have to buy the right or the ability to do it. They're not just going to let you build on their property, even if they're pro the wall. If they look at it and they go, I can maybe get some money out of this, they're going to try to get some money out of it. You're just going to build a wall on somebody's private land? That's deeply against the conservative position, which is property rights are awesome. But here they're saying, like, let's just confiscate private property and build the land there because we like it. So they didn't lay out a detailed plan as to how they were going to get the private land to then build the wall on it. But furthermore, the overwhelming majority of the land on the southern border is federal land. So in other words, even if they built it on all the private land that they could, in so many areas, you still wouldn't have a wall. Now, here's the nail in the coffin for this story, which is fairly devastating. The dude who raised the money, he was what the Daily Beast calls a, quote, prolific operator of hoax pages on Facebook. And he raised money in the past that he said was to help veterans programs in hospitals. And he allegedly never actually went to those hospitals and gave them the funds. So he used that as a facade, used that to basically hook people in to then give him money, and he didn't use it for what he said he was going to use it for. And now the donors are turning on him. Because apparently up until like April, they were giving people updates about it. And then now, like in April, they just stopped. And by the way, there were some high profile people who were, brought into this project, including Steve Bannon is one. And Chris Kobach, I think he's from Kansas, is he from? Massively anti-immigrant politician from Kansas. So... I think from Kansas. I could be wrong. So they stopped giving updates when they said, oh, we're going to break ground in April. Well, bitch, it's May. It's mid-May. Not only have they not broken ground, they stopped giving updates. Now, there's one report, although to be fair, I have no idea if it's true, and I actually think it's probably not because the source is questionable. But some are saying that they literally bought a yacht with the money. Now, again, I don't know if that's true because the source is questionable on that one. But, what we know for sure is they said they were going to break ground in April. They didn't break ground in April. They don't have a specific plan. It's now mid-May, and they're nowhere to be found. And whenever they're asked about it, they basically say something along the lines of, we can't tell you, it's top secret because we have like evil liberal groups like the ACLU coming after us, so we have to keep it under wraps. But you just hang in there, and eventually you'll be really happy. I warned you guys about this, man. I said it. And believe it or not, people disagreed with me. I got, comments and tweets, and people were like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. You think it would be perfectly legal for them to crowdfund money and then build the wall on the southern border? You don't think that immediately runs into legal obstacles? No. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not that hard to determine what I just determined. That's not that hard at all. That's pretty obvious for anybody who's paying attention and doesn't have their head up their ass and isn't mired with the fucking partisan blinders that make them think the right is always so pure and angelic and good. So, yeah, there you have it. I think that a lot of the people on the right who donated to this, they looked at the fact that it was a triple amputee Iraq War veteran and they thought, well, that's it. That obviously the guy's going to do the right thing. He's a triple amputee Iraq War veteran. What do you mean? It looks like it didn't work out too well now, did it?